Hello, welcome to Loveday Bakes. If you haven't been here before, welcome. I'm Harry, I'm a pastry chef, and I like to experiment a little bit in the kitchen. I like to get a little weird, a little wacky. For all of those who have watched it before, welcome back. You already knew all of that. Let's get right into it. Someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. That someone is me, okay?
Baby's grumpy.
Baby is grumpy. What's gonna make me feel better? None other than a tasty sweet bun. Cinnamon roll to be exact. However, as you can see by our excellent set dressing, it's spooky season. And what does spooky season mean? You can smell it in the air. You can feel it in the breeze. Pumpkin spice, baby. Where am I going with this? Well, we've already got some cinnamon in these rolls. Let's make them pumpkin spice. And not just any pumpkin spice. I've seen people make pumpkin spice cinnamon rolls before, but they don't do them right, okay? Because when I think of a pumpkin spice, I think of pumpkin spice latte. And where's that coffee in that roll? What I'm thinking is, we're doing a coffee bun with the spice going through it, as you would a traditional cinnamon roll. I'm also gonna put some coffee and the cream cheese icing on the top. And of course, you can't have a pumpkin spice without actual pumpkin. So we're gonna roast this little guy and make a little caramel to drizzle over the top, as you would a pumpkin spice latte, which I don't think I've ever had actually. Aww! We're gonna hack into this guy later. This is from the book I wrote when I was 14. Do you love the outdated memes on the back? Succulent cinnamon roll. And I have made a recipe with a ruin, Tangzhong. We're gonna be riffing off of that. I'm gonna be mixing it up a little to make it coffee. I see a lot of cinnamon roll recipes where they pour cream over when they bake the rolls in the oven. And as much as I love that idea, I was thinking, rather than making a mess and pouring cream all over, why don't I just put my cream in my dough? So I have adapted that. Hopefully it works. We'll see. We're just gonna make a little Tangzhong. So I got some milk here. I got 100 grams. It's that color because it's oat milk. Then we've got 30 grams of strong bread flour. And we're just going to cook this on the hob till it's the consistency of mash. You can see what I mean. We're gonna put that on 6. If you haven't seen my milk bread video, what this does to the dough is it helps to create a softer crumb. It creates more elasticity in your gluten, in your dough as well. And it also prolongs the shelf life. Not that these are gonna hang around for very long, but if you were going to let them, say, sit for a day or two, they'll stay nice and soft. Try and get as many lumps out as possible. It's all stuck in the whisk. Okay, that's relatively smooth and cooked out to a paste. Boom. Okay, let's make this dough. Okay, my body hurts. We have 690 grams of a strong bread flour. You should put that in the bowl of your stand mixer. That fucking stuck to the bottom, isn't it? We have active, I don't think this is active dry yeast. Whatever. This yeast! Pippin's back from the vet. To your flour, we need 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Fine salt, so it just dissolves right into your dough. We've got 50 grams of sugar. So you just want to mix that into your flour. Lovely. Hello, Pip. Is your spine feeling better? Once you've mixed your sugar and salt into your flour, we could put in our yeast. So it's 4.5 teaspoons. Because this is basically an instant yeast, a little bit cheating, you could put this straight in your flour and it will dissolve right in. 4, how many was that? That was 3. 3.5. Okay, we put in our roux in. 70 grams of cream here. Remember I mentioned that earlier, that's going in. It's going to be part of our liquid for our dough. As I mentioned before, we want that coffee flavour to get popping in this dough. I have 200 grams of coffee, which Meg so kindly brewed for us earlier. So that's going in. It's cooled down nicely. And finally, truss eggs. 2, 3, Boom. We're going to knead this, but I like to kind of zhuzh it a bit before it goes on. There we go. So you just want to let it go till it starts to form a shaggy dough. That's gonna be like two minutes, like 2-3 minutes. You just want it to start to come together. There's so much shit on the side of my bowl. Harry, what do I do? So we want to make sure we're getting every little bit of flour hydrated and combined. Make sure any patches in the bottom is getting nice and incorporated, and then just keep it going. Okay, now it's going to be like 1 minute. I don't know why I said 2-3 minutes. That was a lie. 1/2 minute, 2/2 minute. Okay. No, not yet. I do love to lie. Maybe I do love to lie. I never lie about anything important. That's what everyone needs to know. I'm just going to turn it up. So, as you can see, all of our flour has been hydrated. So now we want to go in with our butter. We've got 115 grams of soft butter. You can see, doop. So she's soft. And we're just going to stick our mixer back on. And we're going to put in, I'd say, 1/4 of this at a time. And just knead it till that's combined. And then we'll go in with the next bit, the next bit, then the next bit. It will knead in, just be patient. I'll see you once all the butter's incorporated. It's gonna take a little while. Meg looks already bored, so. All of our butter has incorporated. At that stage, you can see dough hasn't formed enough gluten yet. So, I'm just gonna scrape down the side again. It's good to get into the practice when you're making doughs to scrape the bowl, because you're just making sure that everyone's getting to know each other in there, you know? Everything's in, and we're just gonna let it knead for about 8 to 10 minutes. Speed 2 on your KitchenAid. You can see, not too fast, not too slow. In the meantime, while she's ticking away, I'm just gonna hollow this out and roast it really easy. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes and I'm happy with where our dough is at. If you haven't seen before, a good way to test to see if the gluten in your dough is there is to take a little piece and you want to stretch it. You basically want to be able to see light through when it's stretched thinly, like that. So I'm pretty happy with that. It smells fucking good. What's not to love about coffee in your dough? Huh? What? See? You just round it into a nice little ball. And then we're just gonna let this proof. It's nice and warm in here, so anywhere for, I'd say, for an hour to half an hour until it's doubled in size. Meg picked all the seeds out, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna roast these with pumpkin spice and sugar, butter, kind of caramelize them in the oven to use as a little crunchy garnish. We're a zero waste household here. Use every part of the animal. That's what we like to do. Pumpkin being the animal. All right, I'll see you in an hour and a half. And we're back. It's been approximately an hour, and our dough, as you can see, she's doubled. Bloop, 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 bloop. Before we do anything with her, we need to make our filling. So, I have 225 grams of dark brown sugar here. What's this? This is something we made earlier. This is our little pumpkin spice mix. So this is a mixture of cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, allspice, clove, a little bit of black pepper, and that's it. Lovely Meg made this for us earlier. She is a pumpkin spice queen, so I had to trust her with the spice. We need 115 grams of soft butter. I'm going to put this in the microwave because you want this you want spreadable consistency. Butter's in. So we want 3 tablespoons of our pumpkin spice. I always say 3 and I always want to do a little bit more. I'm also going to put some salt. What can I say? I like salt. And then we're going to mix this to a paste. Any gingerbread fans out there? If you've got any ideas, there is some lost footage actually of me making a Barbie dream house out of gingerbread. Yes, that happened. No one saw that. That is behind lock and key.
There's iconic footage of Mary eating the sofa.
Yes, there is. That is pretty iconic. Got a nice spreadable paste. So just set that aside. Clear the area. We've come to a little bit of a stopping point in that. I don't know which tray to use. 9 smaller ones, which I would put in a round dish, or 8 big ones. I think 8 big ones would be more visually pleasing. That's what we're doing. Right, I'm just gonna line this with a strip of paper so we can get them out easily, because sometimes they'll scratch at the bottom and they stick. Don't want that. I feel like one of the first cinnamon rolls I ever had was in America at Cinnabon. Those American like chemicals and sugars was unlike anything I'd ever had before. It kind of like unlocked something in my brain chemistry. Our house did flood once on Boxing Day, and then the next time we flooded, I had made cinnamon rolls, which we were all enjoying deliciously, and oh shit, there's a flood happening. Water was at the doorstep, so we called the firemen to get them all to come and help us. And then I was walking around with a tray of cinnamon rolls. Thank you, I'm sorry. Thank you, I'm sorry. Because it was like, what? It was late, it was dark. That was not a fun time for the Sanders family when we were flooding. But we're okay now. No more floods now. I need a rolling pin. For the rolling and shaping, you will need a rolling pin, a palette knife, and a spool of thread. What the hell? Why do you need that? Well, you will see. Let's get our beautiful dough here. I don't need you anymore. And we're going to just knock the air out.
Why do you knock the air out?
Basically, in the process of fermenting and proving, a lot of air builds up, which we don't need anymore. You just knock it all out. What I like to do is I kind of form it into a square, which is helpful, because we're about to roll it back out into a rectangle. We want no stickage. So we're going to, don't worry about it. Now we start rolling. Just keep everything nicely, not too floured, but well-floured rolling pin, well-floured surface, and you should be fine. But just make sure you're not using too much flour. If you use too much flour, the flour goes into your dough and your dough becomes like claggy and stiff. You want a nice light, airy dough. I'm happy with that. 30 by 50 centimeters? Yeah, Meg says yes. So we're gonna go with that. Then we take us nice and soft mixture, and we're just going to do some blobs. Bloop, bloop. So we're just going to spread it out to a nice even layer. And you want to leave a nice, I'd say an inch thickness at that end where you don't put anything. There's a couple lumps of brown sugar, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
No one's going to complain about that.
And if they do, then they don't belong in this house. God, this really reminds me of Christmas. Every time I make these, it's usually Christmas. You can let them prove overnight in the fridge. That's what I always do. I do Christmas Eve, I'll make the cinnamon rolls, and I will let them sit in the fridge overnight, and then I bake them in the morning. So we have fresh cinnamon rolls on Christmas Day. There's literally nothing about it. It's the best tradition we have as a family. Once you've got a nice even thickness of filling spread everywhere, we're gonna roll. It's not much. It's not rocket science, okay? You want to make sure you keep it tight so there's no big pockets of air. And you just want to slowly roll your little sausage up. You just want to roll it on top of where you've made that little seam there. I'm going to do something that's going to piss people off. I cut the ends off. Okay, I'm sorry, I have to. Otherwise it's not perfect. Harry, how do I find where the middle is? That's the middle. Is it accurate? Probably not, but it's fun. You just, middle. See, every time I'm in the same place. Clap, middle. Could do it here again. Middle. Bing. Here again. It's the middle. It's foolproof. And then you just go in between those. These are going to be fat rolls. Now we've marked where we're going to cut. That's where this little guy comes in. What we're going to do, we're going to start here. And I'm just going to go around. And you just whoop. And it just gives you a really nice, clean cut. So we go again. Look at that. Perfect roll. Let's get our tray and go bloop. You see this little seamy bit at the bottom? I always like to face that in. So when they bake, they kind of fuse together and it's not going to look ugly. See when they're all cut? They have been shaped. They're in their little home. And I'm going to plop this guy in this. Nothing gets wasted. We are going to now let them prove half an hour until they're just under doubled in size, and you check them by poking them, and if it doesn't spring back then you know they're proved, but they will like melch together. Melch? Yeah, they will melch together, and that's how we know they're ready to bake. Let's let them prove. And then we have 2 more things we need to make. Oh, these are gonna be good, Meg.
They look absolutely.
I'm sorry. We are going to take the lovely pumpkin seeds, which Meg very kindly washed earlier.
It wasn't kind because I have an ulterior motive about this.
Yeah, she may. And I would measure, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to take a little bit of this oil spray. This is just a coconut oil spray. There's still a little bit of water on these as well, so they'll stick. I'm going to use some of the dark brown sugar. A couple of tablespoons on there. And then we'll get some of that pumpkin spice as well. A little bit of salt. And then I'm just gonna mix them up. And then spread them in a nice even layer. Roast these in the oven at about like 170. And I'm gonna check them every 5 minutes, scrape them around until they're a nice golden brown. You can smell the caramel forming on them. So 5-minute timer. As you can see, our pumpkin from earlier has been well and truly roasted. I put this in at 200 for half an hour. Simple. I literally scooped her out, turned her upside down. So we should be able to just, ta-da!
Pumpkin hat.
Pumpkin hat. I know what my costume's gonna be. It's the scariest thing you've ever seen. Clarice. Sorry. Okay. Oh, look at that. And we got a nice pumpkin puree. Well, no, it's not puree yet, but I just kind of want to try some. Okay. We've come over the hill of depression straight into just mania. Okay, what we're going to do is, I'm going to pass this through a sieve. Look at that.
Like sweet corn all over again.
No. You could blend it first, but I don't see the point if we're going to smushing it.
Broke our blender as well.
Who did that? Couldn't have been me. It's working. I need 100 grams of this. Okay, I'm happy with that. I've just pureed put half of that pumpkin through the sieve. Time to check on our seeds. We don't want these suckers to burn, alright? You gotta keep an eye on them. So you just want to scrape them, spread them out again. I'm gonna put them back in the oven, another 5 minutes, and we'll check them again. They're proving nicely. Okay, we are coming over here now to make our caramel. Oh, by the way, this is some of the leftover coffee I had from earlier. I just reduced it, so it's like a syrup, which we're gonna put in our cream cheese. I have here 200 grams of sugar, 160 grams of cream, 50 grams of butter. So we are just going to make a simple caramel sauce. Remember how I caramelized sugar from the previous video? We're gonna put a little bit of our sugar in to start, put it on a medium heat, and we're just gonna keep an eye on it until it starts to caramelize. Proving cam. They're proving nicely.
They're proving themselves.
They are. I've got an idea. We've already got something in the oven caramelizing. I kind of want to take this to a bit more of a condensed pumpkin flavor. So I'm just going to spread it thinly on the same tray that we cooked our pumpkin on. It's pumpkin time. So I'm just going to spread this nice and thinly on this baking sheet and stick it in the oven with our seeds. Ooh. We can actually, caramel, quick, don't forget about it. It's caramelizing nicely. Stick some more of that sugar in. You're layering your sugar. All right, put that in. Nice. See, they're caramelizing. Getting nice and sticky. We're gonna go in for another 5 minutes then. To our caramel sauce. Okay, nice. Last of the sugar goes in. Okay, so for another 5 minutes. I'm gonna let that pumpkin puree go a little further. I'm gonna go 5 more minutes on this, and then they'll be done. It looks very dark, I know. I used dark brown sugar, remember? So they're gonna look that dark, but they're not burnt, trust me. Yeah, I'm happy with that actually. Turn the heat off. Then we're going in with our butter, 50 grams. Careful of the steam, it will burn you. Once your butter's melted in, I just go straight in with my cream. And we want to stir this together. I'm going to turn that heat back on. I'm just going to emulsify those together. Because your cream's quite cold, it will seize your sugar slightly. Cook it out for, I'd say, like a minute. Okay, it's been a minute, take it off. I'm just going to set it aside for it to just cool down naturally. But I just want to also put in half a teaspoon of salt. So you can get both the trays out. Well, it's doing something. Nice. Taking a lot of that moisture out and intensifying the flavor a bit more, which is what we want. Caramelizing all of the natural sugars you got in the pumpkin. I'm gonna put that back in the oven for another 5 minutes. I feel like that'll probably be enough. I'm happy with that. You see they're taking on a nice colour. Ooh. Ooh. I'm just breaking them apart because I don't want them to be big clumps. Now we're just going to set these aside to cool down completely so we can garnish with them. I've got my oven here preheated to 170-ish. This is probably going to go in for like 10 minutes. This little fuckhead.
Don't forget about it.
Don't worry about it. Okay, no scraps in this house. And these are gonna go in for about 25 to 35 minutes. So, do good things. You just do whatever you want, I don't care. Okay, I'm just gonna transfer my caramel out of my pan. Out they come. The puree. Perfect. It's been in for about 15. Checked it every 5. Should I measure how much I have? Yeah. I'm just gonna go straight in to our caramel. You can see it's kind of darkened in color and it's become slightly drier. So I'm just gonna scrape it straight in. As the video progresses, I increasingly give less and less of a shit about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's 115 grams. You know what? I thought I was going to put 100 in, so that's perfect. Because they're both hot, I think it will emulsify into the caramel quite nicely. I am going to try and blend this. This is how we find out if the blender's broken. This might be devastating. Something rattling in there. Moment of truth. She lives. Well, doesn't that look delicious? Ooh, no, that's lovely. It's a caramel with essence of pumpkin. And the consistency is delightful. Oh yes.
Yeah.
She's only gone and done it again. I'm just gonna let that cool at room temp. Because if you put caramel straight into a fridge, sometimes it like seizes and shocks. So we're just gonna let that sit at room temp. And we'll be back in 25, 30 minutes, hopefully, when the cinnamon rolls are baked. It's been half an hour. Jesus fucking Christ. Well, a good way to check that your cinnamon roll's done, go to a nice central point in your dough. Yeah, we're fine. They're cooked. So they've been in for about half an hour. I mean, they're they're massive, okay? I could admit that they're massive, but are we mad about that? And look at this little guy as well. Took him out like 10 minutes ago. And cool down a little bit. In the meantime, let's make our icing. That's the most exciting part, let's be honest. I'm eating these every time I pass them. The most important part, let's all be honest, is the cream cheese. I have 450 grams of cream cheese. That goes in, and I just like to break it up a little bit. So just give it a little, oh, whoops. Whip it so it's nice and smooth. Lovely. I like to put it on low. And I'm just going to drizzle in our cream. It's 160 grams of cream. Okay, before it's fully mixed, we don't want to whip it together just yet because we'll add in our icing sugar. So just kind of combine them. I'm just going to sit in 200 grams of icing sugar. Who made plastic sieves? Fucking hell. Here's all these microplastics with your bullshit icing sugar. We're gonna add that coffee I reduced from earlier. Let's see if it actually works the way I want it to. We also do have a backup plan, which is, have you guys ever heard of camp? No one has. It's a chicory and coffee essence. The chicory is a little intimidating, but I'm just gonna put like a little bit of this in. Like that much. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's like a syrup. And I'm also gonna, obviously, a little bit of salt. Okay, now just mix on low, otherwise icing sugar will go everywhere. That colour's promising. Okay. And would you look at that? She's beautiful. She's perfect. Cream cheese and coffee. Fuck off. I'm going to transfer our rolls. They've cooled down, so that's not going to melt immediately. Oof, there's definitely like some caramel situation going on down there. It's going to be a fast motion. Ooh. Whoa. Okay. I'm getting so excited. I feel like the best way to do this is just to start here. You guys didn't forget about our pumpkin caramel, right? Because it's coming into play now. And they're gonna be messy to eat no matter what I do. Oh my god. This is fucked.
This is serious.
And then I want to do a little bit of a... I mean, they look so pretty. Okay, we need to try one. Which one am I gonna go for? Please pull apart nicely. Dare I say, that's pulled apart. Oh, the caramel at the bottom. That's pulled apart perfectly. Is it bad that I want to go for a middle one?
It's real.
Please pull apart just as beautifully. Oh my god. Look at that. I'm a pastry chef, I have to do it nicely. Oh fuck, and it's like started to melt into there. I'm going to tear the middle out and eat that. This is a real moment for me.
No words.
That might be the best cinnamon roll I've ever eaten in my life. Oh my god. It's the perfect ooey gooey bun. And then you get a little bit of coffee in the icing, a little bit of coffee in the dough. That's fucked up. I think I've made something that cures depression. Because I don't know about you, I feel better. I don't know what to tell you. You need to make these. 'Tis the season. The bread is perfectly light, but gooey in the middle, baked through perfectly. You get coffee flavour, and then the spice mixture, and it's all caramelized on the bottom, so it's like sticky, that beautiful spice coming through. The icing on the top is perfect, a little bit of coffee, the caramel is a lovely little touch that really does take it up a notch to make it taste like a pumpkin spice latte. I'm calling it Meg, I've never had one. If it tastes like that, I'm gonna fucking have to have one. Honestly, those are unreal. I have been eating these since I made them. Every time I pass the tray, I put some in my mouth. So I have to say, you guys, you gotta try these. One of the best cinnamon rolls I've ever made, and I've made thousands. That might be an exaggeration. I hope you liked the video. I hope you enjoyed watching me make these, my first autumnal creation. There is more to come. In the following 2 weeks, you will see 2 more Halloween treats for you to perhaps make and enjoy on our Hallows Eve. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you like and subscribe if you did enjoy. And let me know if you made them. Leave me a comment if you did. I'd love to see your version of these little babies. Maybe mix up the spice mix, hey, do whatever. Put some chocolate in the dough, make a mocha version. Hey, possibilities are endless. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.